It's the 1400s, and Mutapa goes to the north to search for salt. This is the event that marked the beginning of one of the greatest African empires of all time. It's the 1400s, and the great Zimbabwe state is collapsing. There's overpopulation, lack of resources, and the royals are fighting over succession of the throne. Mutapa, however, goes to the north in the Dande area to search for salt, greener pastures, and resources. He's a strong and ambitious young prince and brings about 300 soldiers with him. In that area, he conquers the Tavara and Torwa people, gaining him titles like Mwenemutapa and Monomotapa, which mean Lord of the Conquered Lands. Tragically, in the year 1415, Mutapa died, leaving behind a legacy and a new great empire that would last the next 300 years. The son of Mutapa, Mwenemutapa, took the throne of his deceased father and ruled alongside his half-sister, Nyaminta, the Nehanda part being because the Handa area was under her rule. Meanwhile, in the Zimbabwe state, overpopulation, lack of minerals like gold, salt, and iron, and succession disputes totally overwhelmed the state, leaving it in ruin and causing a lot of its residents to flee to the Mutapa state for its better pastures, its hunting grounds filled with precious skins and ivory, and for other resources that the great Zimbabwe no longer had. Before we go forward, please click the like button if you're enjoying the video, and subscribe if you like short-to-the-point history videos like this one. Now, the people of the Mutapa state relied on agriculture, hunting, mining, and trading. They traded objects like gold, silver, iron, and also precious skins and ivory. They made jewelry and iron from their precious metals, which they either used, traded, or paid to the king as homage or tribute. The king, which for the context of this video I will refer to as the Mutapa, used tribute as a form of tax, which he paid to his loyal soldiers and servants. He also used it to supply his nation some form of food security in case of hunger or drought. He also took cattle as homage and tribute. Cattle was a big sign of wealth, used and slaughtered only on important occasions or functions, like dowry payments, funerals, or traditional ceremonies. A payment of cattle from a local chief signified that he and their clan are still loyal to the Mutapa. The Mutapa Empire had one main head of state, the Mutapa himself, or on some rare occasions, two related children or relatives of the Mutapa, as in the case of Mwenemutapa and Nyaminta, followed by the chiefs, sub-chiefs, and the royal military. There was a special patrol force of Mutapa's military which patrolled the kingdom, collecting tax and tribute from chiefs and Portuguese and Swahili traders. Unlike chiefs, Swahili and Portuguese traders paid a tribute of luxurious goods which they brought from their homeland, which were given directly to the Mutapa as a sign of respect to the king. The Portuguese traders soon realized that there was a larger abundance of gold in the Mutapa state than they had access to. So they sent missionaries to the state who converted the Mutapa and his subjects to Christianity. They also built schools and churches. They sent ambassadors to the state, all of which angered bystanders who would sit by and watch their kingdom and culture be trampled on by the Portuguese no longer. When Mutapa Negomo became king, he ordered the execution of the priest Father Gonçalo da Silva, the priest who had brought in Christianity. This angered the Portuguese king, who sent 1,000 Portuguese troops to colonize the area. This weakened the Mutapa heavily. The Portuguese proceeded to insert puppet kings who would do as they command. This was now known as the Prazo system, where Portuguese controlled Mutapa land and people were now required to pay homage to the Portuguese, weakening the Mutapa even more. Sadly, the decline of the Mutapa state was caused by the same reasons as the great Zimbabwe state before it. The interference of Portuguese settlers was a huge factor, as well as the overwhelming size of the empire. which made it subject to rebellion of small factions. The lack of resources and depletion also caused the decline of the state. And one of the greatest points, succession disputes, caused the largest damage in the state, dividing the ruling powers and making way for third party kingdoms like the Portuguese to interfere. So, to sum it all up, the main reason for the decline of the Monomutapa's empire was Portuguese interference, which caused depletion of resources and interference in social and political affairs. This was the decline of one of the greatest and largest African empires of all time. Its decline led to the rise of another ambitious young leader, known as Changamire Dombo of the Rosy Empire.